Right. And they are extracting information that other humans could use that are actually on the legitimate light path, not the counterfeit light path. Look at me, I'm a little teapot, I'm a dancer. Oh, look, I'm sexy. Don't you like? Oh, if you think I'm sexy, come on. Okay, I won't go full Rod Stewart. But those that are generally on the light path, that are putting themselves before others, that are being selfless, that are using the law of attraction to expose the things that we need to expose because we're here on this earth to learn about self-responsibility. That's why we keep coming back incarnation after incarnation until we get it right. A lot of you are saying, oh no, there's no more hope for the world, blah, blah, blah. Actually, the world's going to be around for a long time. There is no evidence that the earth is about to end. There are people that were concerned that something was going to shift in 2012. Many of them were never saying the earth was going to end, but that we would see more earth changes, a change in the sun's output. And these changes may take decades to longer to see them fully manifest. And that's exactly what we are seeing at a point in time where scientists are realizing that our realm may be a computer simulation with an architect not too different than the architect from the Matrix. But how far up do we have to go before we find the true creator that's even created the architect of the Matrix? That's something we need to ask before we assume the architect of the Matrix is in fact God. Because there are gods and there are deities of this world that are trapped on this world that will never get out of this world. And it is because of that very fact that you have the ability to perceive beyond this world that those forces hate your ass. That those forces attack people like me. And the main way evil forces attack people isn't directly manifesting into a blue-skinned 7.8 gargoyle demon with a 12-foot erection, ready to rape anything in its path, destroy or eat anything in its path. It's more subtle than that. The occupation of the earth right now, the dark beings that are a part of this occupation, they attack those working in the light through people around them, through their mothers, through their fathers, by isolating them. By telling people around them that don't have true discernment, that have actually not been on the spiritual path, that those that are trying to help others are evil and are not worthy of love, compassion, or any support whatsoever. And there is a reason why people that care so much about other people, why they stand alone, why they live alone, why some of them prefer not to live in cities, and some of them choose to live in the country. There's also very powerful light workers that I see out there on video and doing what they need to do, and they do not live in the country. They live in the city, because in the city there are people that they can help, and their auras, simply being in the city, has an effect. It has a ripple effect. This is why I don't blame everyone or attack that is unmindful. That's why I try not to, even at parts of myself that do at times, because I realize we're on different paths. I try not to place judgment on all those that choose to stay in a dense population center, because I understand that, this up, down, left, right, it's all an illusion. Space is everywhere. God is everywhere. Light is everywhere. Energy is everywhere. So there is no good or bad place to be on the planet because you're a human. There may be a right place for you to be because of where you need to be at the time. It is important for me at the time to spend some quality time in a beautiful state like Colorado. A state none of you should have any resentment or judgment against. It's a beautiful place. Denver is one small speck on a map. You should look at the larger map. Do you know where the San Luis Valley is? Can you locate Mesita, Colorado, in less than 30 seconds without getting lost on the map? I'm using this as an example. There are no purely good or bad places on the planet. There are places where you need to be at the moment, at this point in time, and there are places where I need to be at this moment and this point in time. There are relationships that we need to be in at certain points in time, and there are times where we need to be alone and we need to deal with, what's going on with us. But ultimately, to bring this back to our topic at hand, Earth is under some form of satanic, demonic occupation. Last night I watched the movie Little Monsters with Fred Savage. It's not a bad metaphor for the demons in our world that often infect the lives of children at a very young age, that often visit them at a certain point in time, usually by the time that they're 8 or 9 years old, sometimes earlier. The earlier the better to the demon or the dark forest, because the earlier you get a hold of the child or you get inside of them, the easier they are to control. There's also this pureness about children, and there's a reason why children, they recognize the monsters under the bed. And they will scream to their parents for help, and their parents may or may not understand what's going on. They may say, "Oh, honey, it was just a dream." But what is a dream? Is a dream not part of reality? It's just a dream. It wasn't real. Come on. Come back to bed. Here. Come with your mother. And that's what a mother should do when something like that happens, because when a child is under attack in that manner, and they're experiencing the sleep paralysis, there's an entity or a being that is trying to get inside their body. And it may be simply to plant a seed or some sort of an etheric microchip. The mother has the protective ability to keep that demon away if she loves her child. In the same way that an earth woman has the ability to protect an earth man, the way an earth man may be able to protect an earth woman with his arms from invading barbarian tribes that want to cross the wall and have a really good time with the woman from the other tribe and implant a foreign seed. It's the same thing with an earth woman being able to protect an earth man by praying for him as he fights the demons of this world and seeks to help the women of the future. She prays for him. She puts her hand over his heart that may have been already stabbed or attacked or shot up by etheric arrows from archonic demons that don't want that man to help other men or women. So there are many men walking this planet that are walking with limps, that are walking with axes in their back, that are walking with wounds, because they are walking the spiritual path, but they walk alone. And they are generally resented by other demons in human form that they come across, that they try to help, that they try to heal. No woman or no man on this planet is inherently good or bad because they happen to have a penis or a vagina. This is polluted. This is warped. This is dark, demonic, very judgmental thinking that men and women harbor. And it is one of the great inhibitors towards a spiritual experience that takes us beyond the illusion of separation. There are many men and women on this planet that have never gotten beyond the illusion of separation. They may enjoy a New Age lecture every now and then that tells them they can have anything that they want at any time on this planet and suffer no repercussions for whatever they're trying to create. They may be going against God's will or the will of the universe itself, and they may be self-serving. They won't see that. They will see physical things as a spiritual experience. They will see strong orgasms that just go and go and go and go as a spiritual experience, because there is a lot of pleasure in the ejaculation of your penis or in the orgasm that you're feeling in your vagina when you're wrapped around a very comfortable, hard penis, be it large, be it small. Sex itself, eating food by itself, the smell of a new car, what it feels like in your bed, in your dense population center apartment where you don't have to have family and you don't have to have children around you, and you have your own little castle. You have your own little, what is really nothing more than a human rat nest. Because you're having orgasms, whether you're inducing them yourselves or someone else is induced, or you're feeling good from that food you eat, and a long list I gave before, or you're playing video games, or you're crying tears of joy after watching a romantic movie involving people that have nothing to do with you or your life, or you're crying because you're watching a breakdown, or a woman going through pain or a man going through pain that have nothing to do with your life, you are not having a spiritual experience. You're having a human experience. And being in the flesh comes with certain joys when you're in the body and you're dancing, and that doesn't make it evil. But the body, especially these pleasure centers, these sexual centers, these hunger centers, these fight or flight centers, they can all be easily hijacked and manipulated by the dark side if you are not connected to your higher self and you have actually started to believe that the physical sensations in your body are actually linked to a spiritual experience. And until we start seeing on people on a mass level refine their sexuality, choose to be with good people, choose to defend tribes, and actually completely speak against the evils in the world, until people sacrifice not their physical lives, but the money that they have, their jobs, and their relationships to say, you know what, I'm going to take a stand for something. I'm going to speak out against something. And I don't care what my mother said, my father says, my children say. I am going to make a change in this planet, and I am going to help heal through my word. I am going to utilize the flaming sword at my side, and I'm going to encourage an army of light workers. There's neighbors next door. If I was on a podium right now, I would be screaming. And in spirit, there is this non-religious, almost preacher type of energy that wants to assemble the light warriors of the world and sick them on the demons that have destroyed relationships on this planet between families that have been working to build up this new world order. We are under attack. Earth is under occupation. And for those of you that feel that flaming sword by your side, in spirit, you got to learn how to pick it up. This is not something that I see being a physical thing. This is about your heart. This is about having a heart of gold that you will not let anyone penetrate. Not anyone that was a family member of yours that has hurt you by isolating you and telling you that you're no good, that has left you, that has abandoned you. Someone that brought you into this world. Your heart must be strong. There must be armor on your heart. And this is where spiritual texts from the past come to mind. They talk about the armor of God, or a heart of gold, or knowing this knowledge that's come out in just the last decade, that the heart is the greatest source of magnetic energy in the body. Our third eye is powerful. Our pineal gland, which is affected by the magnetic fluctuations because it has a concentration of magnetite in it, it is powerful. Our root chakra, that likes to connect with other energy beings through the act of sex and to create other human beings through the act of procreation, that has that understanding that the tribe is in danger, that picks up the real sword and starts battling whatever is coming through the door, be it physical or spiritual. Despite all that and the other powers of the chakras, it's the heart chakra that is the most powerful electromagnetic center in the body. So when we are in love and we are showing compassion for our fellow man, when we are willing to defend our woman and fight 10 men, 100 men, or protect our mother, or protect their honor, and not just be, oh, it's just always been this way. Let the penis shoot as much as it wants. Just do whatever you want. Do as thou wilt. Fuck the women. Haven't you read about Adam and Eve? Oh, it's their fault we're in this. See, once you reverse all that, and you start cutting through all that, and you start decapitating those beings that want to fuck with you, and you're protecting those around you because you're in love, then good is going to come to you. And I'll tell you what, as a man, let me close here, giving some advice to other men. You've got to get out of a mentality of women are going to love you on this earth because you're doing good things. The contamination, the satanic contamination is so extreme that it has infected almost the entire population. I would call it the 99%. With less than 1% of your local opposite sex population being able to be attracted to you because you're a good person. You need to understand the odds that are out there and understand that this may not be the only lifetime that you're going to have, and that the true love that you're waiting for really is the true love of humanity, the true love of yourself as you are, and that special being out there that you want to meet to give you the first love you've ever loved in your life or had in your life may not be on this earth. And so we have to come to terms with those things and realize that Earth is under occupation and needs us to rise to the occasion with our flaming sword and defend it, all the beings on the planet.